Hey guys, it's Paul Scheider from Hedgehog Leatherworks, and today I'm going to show you some techniques for making natural cordage baskets in the wilderness. For the purposes of this basket today that we're going to make, I'm going to show you how to use it to make it using jute twine. Jute twine is a natural fiber and it functions and feels very similar to most cordages that you would make out in the wild. So the first thing we need to do is cut the pieces for our vertical strands. Now if we look at my basket, we can get an idea of just about how big our original vertical strands were by holding a string up to it. We know that for this basket, each of the vertical strands was about this long. Now I'm going to extend this out to about an arm length, and then I'm going to make 8 of these. I'm going to separate these out into 4 and 4. I'm going to find the midsections of each one, and I'm going to cross the midsections so that they are perpendicular to each other. And the next thing I'm going to do is cut a piece for my horizontal pieces. Now I'm going to take the strand that I just made, that's going to be this horizontal piece, and I'm going to go to double it up so I find the middle, go back to pick this up, and we're going to start weaving in and weaving out. It's really quite simple once you get the idea of it. We put the midsection over all 4 strands at once on this, and we're going to start by putting it over, then we make 1 twist just like this, and then we go over our next set of 4 strands. Slide it through, and we just kind of gently rotate this right now, keeping all the strands lined. Put another twist, and as you go, twist them to where they are somewhat tight and feed it through just like before. Another twist, and we just keep doing this, and this is how the whole basket comes together. So it's very repetitive and it's very easy. It does take time, it does take patience. And I'm going to go two times around like this, where I do all 4, just to get it started and get this locked into place properly. Okay, now we're coming up on our second pass. This marks 2 right here. And now, instead of going 4 at a time, we're going to split it up, and we're just going to separate one of our big strands out into 2 and 2. So instead of 4, we're going 2 and 2, and now we keep going just like before. Okay, so we just finished our last 2, and I'm going to do again 1 more repetition all the way around. Okay, now we're coming up on that, and now we're going to switch over. We're going to split our 2 strands into 1 strand. So now we're going to 1 strand at a time. And put a twist in between every single strand. Okay, cool. So now you can start to get an idea that this disc section we've made is going to end up becoming the bottom of our basket. So how do we get it to start curving into the straight portion? Well, it's really simple. We're just going to make a slightly tighter weave, and now every time I go through here, I'm going to twist it just a little bit tighter, and what you're going to see is it's going to start to curl up a little bit, and the basket at this point is really going to start to take shape. I've decided to go ahead and finish this basket off right here. It's a small one from a utility perspective. It could be used for certain things like certain small items you might want to carry. In fact, you could line the inside of this with pine pitch, which would waterproof it, and then you could store tallow inside, which is like a very pure rendered down fat that has a lot of uses. So there are uses for small basketry like this, but all in all, I want to do this so that instructionally you can understand how to replicate this on your own. So at this point, here's the piece we're finishing up right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and trim all these long strands down a bit. Now, all I've got to do is align these. So what I'm going to do is lay them in, and this is a bit difficult to see, but it's very simple. I'm going to start on my left, and I'm going to move to the right around the perimeter of the basket. I'm going to lay one strand behind into the inside, and the next one I'm going to lay it behind into the inside. And I'm going to continue doing this, not even weaving extremely tightly. This just gives it a little bit of a finished look. I want to go from the inside out. And all the way to the end. Now from here, I'm going to intentionally do this. I'm going to tie a quick knot. And this is going to help in finishing off later on. So I got this strand, and we're going to come back to this at the very end and tie off again. Okay, now I can continue wrapping as before, and all I'm doing is putting every next wrap right on top of the one before it, and then I pull tight. Okay, we've wrapped really tight fully around the entire perimeter of the basket now, so you can see what a finished look this thing has really taken on. And now that we're done wrapping, we're all the way back to our origin point where we first tied off that one strand. Now all we're going to do to finish this up is tie a very simple knot here, and if we pull it really tightly, it'll pretty much disappear all on its own. So I just tie a simple overhand knot, really crank it down, and then I'm going to double it up again so we come into doing a full square knot. And that's as easy as it is. So now that's wrapped really tight, it's sealed up, and I'm just going to go ahead and trim our ends, and it's pretty much done. And now we have a small but functional basket. And as I said before, you can continue these out to just about any size that you want. It uses the same technique every time. It's very simple, it's very easy to do, and it's a great way to spend time around the campfire. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm Paul Scheider from Hedgehog Leatherworks, and I'll see you next time.